Hey everybody, time for this week's Stay Home Save Lives hobby update. So this week, unfortunately, I was furloughed from my primary job, and so I will be able to get unemployment from that. So I did survive the first round of furloughs, but not the second round, unfortunately. So, but I'm still working my second job, which is a delivery driver, and so that's helping out a lot. But I was able to finish off all my Bad Moonz refurbs. So these are the Ludus. So in my last video I was talking about how I wasn't really happy with the yellow. Well, I found the solution to that, and that was after the wash of the sepia, is to re-layer up the Avalanche Sunset and then do the extreme edge highlight with Flash Gets Yellow. And I think that turned out really well. Exactly what everything I wanted it to do. So it looks much better. Because with going from the washed Avalanche Sunset straight to the Flash Gets Yellow was way too much of a difference, and going just from the Avalanche Sunset to the Flash Gets is a much more realistic transition. So very happy with these guys, and I think they turned out great. So they're all varnished and they are ready to go. So these guys will go into the main army box instead of the existing Ludus I have now, which are non-clan specific. And yeah, a couple of these guys I really like the missile launcher guys that I made. So two of them here, the Typhoon missile launchers, and the little Eldar thing there on it, some cables, and this one here too with the drop pod missile launcher and a couple Tau missile launchers. It actually still rotates. And yeah, so that is the Bad Moonz Ludus. So I'll be right back because I did finish up the other unit too. Okay, here we go, and these are the Shooter Boys that have now been redone as Bad Moonz from a non-clan specific, and varnished and rebased to 32mm. So what did we do here? So I did have to pick. It took me a while to figure out exactly how much yellow I wanted to put on them, and so what I went with was just a small area on the gun and the straps. And then anyone that had one of these arm wraps got that done. And helmets. And any armor plates they had on them was what I tried to do for the yellow. And this one guy, which is from the biker, which is a biker torso. It's kind of cool. I like this one. So that was, picking out the yellow was tedious. This whole thing was just really tedious, and I got really not wanting to do it near the end, but I powered through and I got it all done. Oh, and this one guy with the top knot, I painted his top knot yellow. I mean, let's let you know, I hate top knots on orks. I cut off almost every single one, but somehow this one survived. So I decided to make that one yellow too. And it's the same thing. So it's Avalanche Sunset. The sunset is washed with Seraphim sepia, and then layered back up with the Avalanche Sunset and edge highlight of Flash Gets Yellow. And I also gave 3 guys tank buster bombs. And I was out of plastic tank buster bombs, so these are from the old metal arms where the arms cut off, actually just fatigued off. And these are pinned on here, and the bombs are bright red, so I can easily pick out these particular models in a group when I'm playing with them, so I can find the tank buster bombs and make sure they're in range when appropriate. Got 3 rocket boys. There's also a unit has 3 Shooter Boys, but I didn't bother with them because they're put away somewhere, and I'm not going to use them anyway. These were just here, so I did them. So I was thinking about replacing these metal rockets with new plastic ones, but just decided to keep these, mainly because I had the slotted bases and not enough of the non-slotted bases. So, and last thing was the knobs. So the knobs both got new Bad Moonz boss poles, because before they had non-clan specific ones. And then this is a metal knob body, and he got new plastic arms from the knob kit. And I like to do that on my metal knobs because it just makes them much more stable. Not having the metal sticking out makes them more stable, a little bit lighter overall, but mainly just more stable. So, and the big chopper knob. So yeah, I got 27 shooters, 3 rockets, 3 of the boys have been given tank buster bombs, and then 1 of each knob, because I have 1 of each knob for all 6 of my boys units. I said there's also 3 shooter boys that matches these guys, but they're getting ignored. So again, these will replace the shooter boys that I play with in my current list. So that's a lot of rebasing I've done. I've done 2 full units of shooter boys rebased. All 35 of my Ludas are now rebased. 1 unit of 10 tank bustas. The 3 runt herds have been rebased to 32 millimeter. And then I have some of my bikers have been rebased to the oval bases. All 8 knob bikers and the war boss on a bike have been rebased to the oval bases. And then of course no, they came with those. Never mind, those aren't rebased. So yeah, I've done a lot of rebasing, and I still got hundreds. I still got 4 full units of boys and 30 commandos, and then storm boys. Oh, and then I've got a handful of Burnas too. I might have to get those out and refurbish those someday. Yeah. So the main thing is the storm boys one due, I think. So it's still hundreds of bases. And these are all done, of course, with my Sculpey base toppers, and I think they turned out. So some interesting side notes here. We're at 4 minutes, so I got some time to ramble. So a couple interesting things as I was doing this. When I was taking these boys off their 25 millimeter bases, I noticed a lot of them had tufts. So I didn't want to just throw those away. So I actually was able to take them off by wetting them down, because they're hold on with PVA glue. If you get PVA glue wet after it's dried, it will re-wet and allow you to just take stuff apart. I have a very, very old video where I show using PVA glue on magnetized models, so you don't have to worry about the magnetized parts falling off. And if you're done, if you want to change the weapon, you can just wet down the PVA glue and just pull off the magnetized parts. I use this for like tournaments, so you don't have like bits flying all over the place all the time. So what I was able to do was I got those tufts off all the old bases and I put them on the Ludas, because these guys weren't, of course, ready yet. The new bases weren't ready yet, so I didn't bother using tufts on them. So these tufts that are on the Ludas are actually recovered from the boys' 25 millimeter bases. So I'm very happy that I was able to recover those, because tufts add up. You can't just throw those things away. So yeah, I don't know how much more stuff I'm going to convert to Bad Moons, because to be honest, the other stuff that I have most of my stuff is not clan specific. Well, most of my boys are now, unfortunately. So I've got 2 units of Evil Sons boys, 1 shooter, 1 slugga, 1 unit of Goff sluggas. Now I've got this unit of Bad Moon shooters, and that leaves me 1 unit of shooters and 1 unit of sluggas, which are non-clan specific. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. And then I have 1 unit of Ludas, which is non-clan specific, and 1 unit of Ludas, which are Bad Moons. And of course, I did add the spanner to both of the units for the stratagem. So what's left in my army that I play with that's already painted in other clans is, of course, the Wazbomb, the 2 Dakajets, the Gorkanaut, and the Mech-Guns. The Mech-Guns aren't really as important because they don't really have clans. It doesn't really matter as much, but they are painted as blood axes with the camo pattern. But I'm not going to really. I don't want to repaint any of those. All of that stuff is gorgeous. I don't want to touch any of those. But I don't want to replace them either. You know, I might consider getting a second Wazbomb and painting that Bad Moons. That's not something I wouldn't mind having a second Wazbomb, period. Just in general. And if I do get one, I'll paint it up as Bad Moons. But that's something I have to decide on. So this project's done. So there's no more repaints to do right now, because I don't have any more 32mm bases, and very unlikely to get any more anytime soon. So I just got a handful of things to do right now. So I got these guys here. My next thing I'm going to paint up, which one, of course, won't take very long. These are just 6 of the old Forge World grots. I have the other 4 are in my grot collection now, still. I was using them as ammo runts because they look like ammo runts. But they're just generic grots now. So now I have these, which I decided to pull out and paint. Because one thing is, they're really cool looking models, and they're well out of print. And I just need some more grots. The 60 I have right now, 65-ish I have now, just isn't enough. Then after that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But anyway, that's just about covers this update here. I'm going to be very close to 10 minutes. But yeah, so these grots are next. And all these boys are done, and I'm very happy they're done. Not only because I wanted them done, but because I just got tired of working on them. So yeah, let me know what you're doing at home these days. I'm just going back and forth between painting some boys and driving my car. Thanks for watching.